Hey guys, how's it going? Good morning. Set up this room real quick and then we can get started. It's 6:17 right now, so we got about 13 minutes till market open. So I want to make sure I get everything all set up and then we can get started with our session today. Good. All right, cool. Let me get this Zoom link out to you guys here in the premium. All right, looks good. All right, guys, morning. I'm setting up the room right now. Once it's all set up, we can get started with our analysis today. So you guys want to keep in mind that today is, there's a lot of FOMC, a lot of Fed meetings going on today for the rest of the week, actually. So you guys want to be careful when you guys are trading. I did take a pre-market sell earlier off this, and I made a quick profit. I forgot which one I took, but I did take a pre-market sell and I made, let's see, which one did I take? I actually took a variation trade. So if you guys remember the variation that I went over yesterday, I took this, one second, guys. I took this trade over here. So basically, we had the high established there. We had a rejection off the following candle. I took the sell there. And then I caught a quick move right here for about 100 pips. That's the pre-market sell that I took. Usually I don't take trades once it gets close, like past 6. So I was looking for trades here. However, I didn't take anything because it's, it's getting close to market open. So like, for example, right here, there was technically a buy here applying the high low, but I didn't take it because it's so close to market open. This was like this happened at 6:15. Market is opening in about 10 minutes, not really worth the risk. So, and another one right here, there's another sell here that happened using the variation, which I probably could have taken, but I'm not going to risk it because market is opening pretty soon. So as of now, guys, let me just continue letting people into the room and then we can get started with our analysis this morning. We got about 10 minutes till market open, so we have some time, but obviously we want to get everything all knocked out of the way before market actually opens. So morning, Miles, morning, Jennifer, morning, Maria, morning, everybody. There's only a few people in here right now, so I'll give it a few more minutes for people to make their way in. I think a lot of people are probably sitting out the day because of all of the news, but the news doesn't really scare us. We're still going to trade regardless due to the fact that I like to trade. So whether there's news, no news, holidays, whatever, I'm still going to be on the charts because if I see good opportunities, I take the trades. If you guys, as you guys have known so far, I'm very conservative with my trade. So when a trade comes, I have to take it, right? Like I have to be there to take the trade. Or else I'm just going to miss a trade for the day. So for me, I'm always on the charts. I'm not necessarily sitting at the screen all day, but I am on and off the charts all throughout the day. If I see something good, then I take a trade. So, I mean, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter if there's news, holidays, anything. I'll still be on here looking and waiting for those good trades. Yeah, Rav said, LOL, we're not scared. Yeah, no, definitely, Rav. Morning, Professor. Morning, Fahad. So, Professor, I think we're going to do that mentoring session on Monday. We were going to do it today, but a lot of people can't make it because it's such short notice. So I'll give a notice in the group. Let me check my calendar real quick. Yeah, we can probably try to do Monday, or I'll see. I still got to ask the group because if not, I know next week is Thanksgiving for a lot of people. So a lot of people are not going to be available. So we might just have to push it back a little further, which is fine because most of you guys already know the strategy for the most part. It's just, fine tuning, answering questions. So if you guys do have questions specifically regarding any of the strategies or even, the high-low strategy, even though it's not official yet, I can answer the questions for you guys. But I just want to make sure that as many people can attend as possible, because I just want to make sure that everyone's questions get answered, because sometimes people are kind of shy to ask questions. And when we have majority of people in the group, we have a lot of people who will ask questions that other people are scared to ask. So we just want to make sure that we have majority of people there asking questions in case we run out of questions. So we'll figure it out. Rav said we don't have Thanksgiving here. Yeah, no, it's mostly just people here in the US, Rav, which is the majority of the members here. So unfortunately, a lot of people are not going to be around next week. Morning, Mauricio. Morning, Patrick. Morning, Fahad. Morning, Rick. Rick said almost blew my account yesterday. What happened, Rick? Were you taking those variation trades? It's really risky. That's why I don't teach anybody that strategy. Certain people do apply it. I mean, there's different ways to apply it and different ways that you can increase your probability. But I was looking at them yesterday too. They were very risky. So during the New York session, it was good, but then Asia session was super risky. If I'm sure that's where you ran into issues. Hey, Samir, how's it going, bro? Morning. And Samir's been killing it on the options. So if you guys haven't been in the options chat, I don't really trade options, but I'm thinking I might just start taking some options and stuff. And also Samir posted some books here too. If you guys are like interested, he posted some books here for you guys to look at. If you guys are looking for, any type of trading or personal development books, which is always good. You guys should always be learning no matter what. Morning, Matt. Morning, Peter. Morning, everyone. So hopefully you guys had a great week so far. I know it's only been 1 day or 2 days actually, but I've seen a lot of people walk in some pretty decent profit. All right, market is opening in about 6 minutes, guys. So let's take a look at the charts right now, or let's look at the fundamentals. So looking at retail sentiment, currently there's 64% or 61% of traders who are short right now. So this just means that 61% of the retail traders are currently short, meaning that we might be wanting to look at some buys because we generally don't want it to trade in the direction of the majority. However, 61% is not very much. It's still, it's just like a stone's throw away from the 50% mark, or not 50%, but the 50s, which will make things pretty much neutral. Looking over here at the fundamentals, currently the futures data is 49 points in the red. It's not very strong bearish confirmation, but it is bearish right now. We'll see what happens when the market opens in 5 minutes, whether it stays below or if it swings above. There's really, I think by the end of today, it'll probably swing above. Reason for that is because the next set that we're going to look at is news, right? Looking at the calendar for today is Wednesday, November 17. This morning, we had Fed member, or I don't know if he's still speaking now. He probably is because he started at 6:10. We have Fed member Williams speaking at 6:10. He's probably going to speak. He's probably speaking now up until 7. And then at 7:30, we have crude oil inventories. And then at 8, we have Fed member Bowman speaking. At 9:40, we have Fed member Daly and Fed member Waller speaking. At 1 p.m., we have Fed member Evans speaking. And after that, Fed member Bostic. And then it pretty much just continues, right? So you guys can see this entire morning, there's Fed members speaking pretty much after every hour. So there's one speaking out at 6, another one speaking at 8, another one speaking at 9, 2 of them speaking at 9 actually, another one at 1, and then another one after at 1:10. So as you guys can see, there's probably going to be a lot of volatility this morning. Usually when the Fed members speak, they usually have good things to say about the economy because, obviously they want to bring morale up, especially towards the end of the year. So with that said, with them speaking, you can probably expect price to be bullish, towards the end of the day. It might not happen today. It might not happen during this session, but towards the end of the day, if price does go down, we're probably going to expect it to try to make its way upwards towards the end of the week, because we do have Fed members speaking today. We also have Fed members speaking tomorrow and on Friday. So this entire week, the rest of the week, we have Fed members speaking. You'll probably see some volatility of price bouncing up and down, but overall, I think price is going to be bullish by Friday. There might be some manipulation where price just goes slowly down. Not really manipulation, but people are anticipating price to go up just like we are. So price is going to be somewhat pushed to the bottom side, but eventually I think it's going to, obviously come right back up. Basically, whenever one Fed member says something good for the economy, it'll help with price. So just, something to keep in mind when looking. So let's see any other questions here. Jennifer said, might be a dumb question, but why look at Dow futures and not Dow index fundamentals? Reason for that's because the market isn't open, Jennifer. Market opens in 3 minutes, so there's no update. If you look at the information for the index, you can see that it hasn't been updated since yesterday, November 16th. Today's November 17th, so it hasn't been updated. So you can't even look at it. Even if you looked at it now, this is data from yesterday, and that wouldn't help you at all. The futures data works 24 hours. So you can see right here, it was just updated a few minutes ago, about 10 minutes ago. So that's the difference. And that's the reason why we look at this now. When the market does open at 6:30, this will open and update. And then that's when we look at it. But that's the reason why we're not looking at it right now, because it's closed. You look at both of these right here, no update, says unchanged. Looking at this right here, no update. It's probably gonna say unchanged too right there. But it will change when market opens in the next 2 minutes. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Thierry. Morning, everybody. So, all right, market is opening soon. Looking at the 1 minute over here, we have an indecisive direction of price. Obviously, you can see price is just ranging sideways. Looking over here at the 3 minute, price is bearish. Reason for that is because price is below the pivots, trend meter is red. Looking at the 10 minute over here, price is currently bearish as well. Price is below the pivots and the trend meter is red. Lastly, looking at the higher time frame, 1 hour, price is below the pivots and the trend meter is red. So overall buys right now for technicals are a sell. However, we'll see when the market opens. Market is opening in about 30 seconds. When it opens, we can confirm the direction. So sit tight, guys, and let's get this started. All right, market is opening in about 25 seconds. See what we got here. All right, cool. So price is pushing up right now, which is cool. We'll see what happens. Market is opening in about 5 seconds. So market is opening in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Market's now open. So let's see what happens here. Price is dropping pretty heavily right now, but we'll see if that swings right back up. Let's go over and check over at the fundamentals now, because the market is now open. So Jennifer, you can now look at the industrial average. So if you want to refresh this, it's now open, right? So you can see it updated just right now, exact time 9:30, which is 6:30 Eastern. It's down 47 points right now. This is not going to tell us to take a trade yet, because you can see prices bouncing around. Looking at the index over here, it's not really stable for a sell or for a buy. It's kind of just right down the middle, looking like Visa is really carrying it down. So Visa is down 9 points right now. It's probably what's really stumping it, but you can see this huge spike to the downside, right? This is the volatility that I was discussing earlier, right? The Fed's speaking today, guys. So you guys got to be careful with trading, because a lot can happen, right? You can see this huge spike. Market's only been open for like a minute. Spiked about like 400 pips almost. So you guys want to be careful trading today, because volatility is going to be a bit high. I think Fed member, who's speaking right now? Fed member Williams is probably still speaking at this very moment. So let's just refresh this real quick, see if there's any updates. Looking over at the indexes currently, the Dow is down 50 points, S&P is down 2 points, NASDAQ's down 2 points, Russell 2K is up 4 points, and the VIX is up about a point. So pretty much all of the indexes are, for the most part, red right now. And we'll have to see what happens. So let's see, stocks are little changed as strong retail earnings continue. So retail earnings are continuing to, this is kind of interesting, because retail, it says that strong retail earnings continue, but looking at Visa is actually down 10 points. So you guys want to be careful right now, especially for this, because if this continues to drop, it was down like 7 points, now 10 points, now 11, it'll just keep weighing it down. So you can see prices being weighed down right now. And I wouldn't take this breakout here for the specific reason that this candle isn't a strong candle. Yeah, technically, you can take a breakout for a sell if the next candle closes red and it's strong, meaning there's little to no wick on the bottom side. However, there's a lot of wicks right here indicating indecisiveness and direction. Because if it was strong, then it would just come down, right? There would be no wick and it would just keep dropping. However, you guys can see here that there's big wicks on the bottom side for US 30 right now. So price can easily just shift right back up. However, Visa is down so heavily that I think it's going to keep weighing it down. You can see right here, Visa's now down 10 points. This can literally cover all of the green stocks here, just like yesterday with, I forgot what stock it was, but there was a stock yesterday that was green, and it pretty much covered everything. You can see it's down 10 points. If you add all these up right here, these green stocks, it add up to, maybe less than 10 points. So the bias right now is still bearish. What you would be looking for here is looking for a strong red candle, basically red candle with a little tenoic on the bottom, kind of similar to this one right here, right? If you're looking at this candle right here that I just circled, it's a strong red candle, right? Big red candle, little tenoic on the bottom side, and then you can see from there it dropped a very nice drop right here for about 200 pips. That's kind of what you're looking for at this point if you want to take this for a breakout. However, you can see price is very indecisive. It'll come down, then it'll just come right back up. It's not just dropping further and further. If it dropped further and further, then that'd be a good thing. However, it's not doing that. So you guys just want to be very careful with these trades here, not to get caught up in a lot of this noise, right? If you just move the ranges over here, you can basically see that price is pretty much just ranging sideways at this point. If you zoom out from here, price has literally just been ranging right here. So you guys want to be very careful if you guys are deciding to take some trades here. So if I turn this off and I turn this off, you see how clear it is? Price is just going sideways. Big range to the side. Turn this back on just to give us some indication as to where price is going. This candle right here is still not a strong red candle, so I wouldn't have taken it. Market is going to be at 635 right now, so we're going to be passing through the breakout, looking for scalps now. Let's open the scalps here. 1 minute pivot scalp, high low scalp. So 2 strategies right there in place. Let's go over to the 3 minute daily. If we decide to take that, I haven't really been taking that very much, but well, I mean, we'll see. If we see something good, then obviously it could be a good trade, but maybe a little careful with this. Pivot scalp, going over to the snipes. So I'll try to be as aware as possible when these trades apply and appear. But I'm going to be very careful too. I've been careful like for the past couple of weeks, guys, and I'm careful for a reason, right? Because I don't want to give you guys any bad information, or I don't want you guys to be taking anything that's too risky. And I'm doing that for your guys' own good, right? I don't want you guys to be blowing accounts. That's like your main key here, guys, is to either stay afloat or to get ahead, right? That you need to remember that there's no need to make huge profits overnight. If you can stay consistent, you'll make huge profits over time. That's really what's key here and lasting in this game. Because I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of people who will make a lot of profits one day and they'll just disappear the next day. You don't even hear from them again. And that's not the way to last in this game long term. You have to be consistent with risk management and with your positions. You shouldn't be taking every single position because you know that you're just one step away from blowing your account. Anyways, so here's the snipe strategy. Here's the daily. If anyone took the daily yesterday, I think it's currently still running. So this is the daily entry from yesterday. It's still running almost a full TP. It actually just hit full TP. So whoever took the daily yesterday, congrats to you, just hit full TP. The daily from the 16th is still running too. Over here, it's about to hit full TP. I still have my alert down there. So if you guys took the daily yesterday, it went into some drawdown, obviously, but it came right back down to where it was supposed to go. Currently, right here, we'll be looking also for another one for today. So other than that, let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. Let's go back to the 1 minute real quick. I don't see any other entries. You guys can see how nasty like the 1 minute looks, right? This isn't something that you guys really want to be trading in. Because the thing is, if your stop loss is 300 pips, you can easily get stopped out right away. So say, for example, you're chasing a move here and it pulls back on you, you're just like one step away from getting stopped out. So you guys just want to be very careful about these trades. I mean, obviously there was a sell right here that was available. This one, if you took that, that would have hit full TP, obviously, right? But I'm not taking that risk because the thing is, it's so volatile where if you just get a bit of a spike up, like a little bit of a spike higher right here, you would have gone stopped out. So what I do recommend is if you guys, and I get a lot of questions from people where what happens is a lot of people pull out of trades early. That's fine, right? Some people are asking me, is that normal? It is normal. It's trade psychology just messing with you. If you don't feel comfortable about a position, I always recommend you pull out with profit. Just wait for the next one. Maybe you'll feel better for the next trade. It's better to close out with a small profit rather than to hold on to it longer, be stressed out about the trade because you're not sure about it, and then it ends up hitting stop loss and you just be upset because you could have easily closed out profit. So just something to keep in mind. I'm gonna scroll over here real quick. Jennifer said Visa got messed up by Amazon in the UK. Yeah, David said Visa is very disappointed. Amazon will stop accepting UK credit cards. Wow, that's crazy. Wonder how that happened. Okay, so that's why it's super red, because I guess I mean that is bad because so many people shop on Amazon. They're not going to accept Visa anymore. It's a huge hit to their company in their credit processing. So no, that makes sense. Thanks for clearing that up for me, guys, because I had no idea what exactly was causing it to drop like that. And Cern, yes, thanks, Cern, for confirming that Home Depot was the stock that was very green yesterday. And that's what kind of caused price to be held up, but then it ended up dumping at some point later in the session. So prices drop down here. The range is now extended below here. So I'll just move the range lower, and we'll move this range a little lower as well. What we're doing right here, guys, is we're trying to identify when price gets into like a tighter range, because you can see price as it gets tighter and tighter, it's going to start to squeeze, right? And then what happens when price squeezes? It charges up for a breakout. So once we get that squeeze set up, basically where we have the range kind of tight, we can expect price to break out to the upside or break out to the downside, which is perfectly fine. It's exactly what we're looking for here. But you can see price is starting to swing right back up, right? This isn't necessarily where you guys want to be trading. And the same reason from earlier. The reason you don't want to be trading when price is so volatile like this is because your stop loss may be a little too tight. It's up to your preference. If you want to have a wider stop loss and go for a bigger target. But that's something to be fully aware of, because like, for example, look how it's just bouncing back and forth. If you guys were in a trade here, this range from market open, it's already been moving about like 600 pips almost, right? Market open right here at 630, price is literally ranged about 600 pips. So for example, if you took a sell here, and obviously you wouldn't have taken a sell here, but if you took a sell right here and then price pulls right back, look how price just pulled right back, right? Or if you took a buy. So say, for example, you took a buy right here and price pulled right back, you would have almost been stopped out at this point. So you guys want to be careful, because the range is so wide that say you take an accidental position. Like, for example, you're looking for this buy here, but price didn't close above these pivots, so there wouldn't be an entry. If you accidentally entered a buy and then price pulled down on you, you'd be in a bad position. So you just want to be careful, guys. That's what I'm trying to get across to you guys. You guys want to be careful, make sure that you're not just like entering trades because you're bored or because you're just getting FOMO because you see price moving so much. Main key here is to be patient and wait for those perfect entries, especially at a time like this, because there's a lot of stuff going on in the news causing a lot of volatility. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else that I'm missing here. Yeah, no, definitely. Rav said he thinks it will bounce off the London low. I think so too. It'll probably come down here, or it can bounce off either of these. It can bounce off the Asia low, or it can bounce off the London low. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. So it's definitely something to look out for. But until then, price is probably going to range until it figures out its direction. I'm going to go over here in this chart. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to draw the times that we normally look for. So like 6:30 to 8. This is usually where price will set its direction. 8 to 9, price might just consolidate a bit. We're probably not going to see much consolidation today because we have a Fed member speaking almost every hour. But these are just key times to follow, especially on the 1 minute, to see how price is moving for the day. So market open right here at 6:30. Price dropped from this point. This is going to be the opening price. So if you guys remembered, what happens when price reaches, the opening price is that, and you can see price was already there. So price dropped initially, came right back up. Price is getting close to the opening price. When price reaches this point, price can do one of two things. It can either break above and continue pushing higher, or it can drop below, right? You guys remember that. Same pattern every single day. You can see prices failing to break this opening price. And you guys can see that it's a very important price point, right? Because it's literally bouncing off the opening price. This right here is 630. So this is the candle where price opened today at 630. And basically price came down and then it came right back up for the retest. And then at this point, one of two things will happen. Price will either break above it, continue pushing higher, or price will swing back down. So something to keep in mind. I mean, if you guys have been watching me every day for like the past however long, I've been showing you guys this pattern every single day. It's the same thing that happens. If you guys trade something long enough, you guys will be able to see stuff like this. It makes things a lot easier because you guys know exactly what's happening. It's not like a random occurrence. This is, it's consistent with how it moves almost every day. Duggan said, US 30 has been moving whack all week. I've been getting more luck with Asia markets and DAX. No, I agree, Duggan. So that's the reason why I haven't really been taking any trades during the live sessions the past couple of days. Market's just been all over the place. Generally, when the market's like that, it's best to just sit it out. You don't have to take every single trade. You don't have to trade every single session. If the session sucks, then just wait for the next one, or just wait for the next day. Like I was mentioning before, there's a lot of news today from now until Friday, which could be a good thing or it can be a bad thing. It could be a good thing because it's going to cause volatility in the market like it's doing right now, but it can be a bad thing because it can cause some uncertainty. So for example, if everyone's looking for price to go up or everyone's looking for price to go down, the market makers aren't going to make that easy, right? Or the institutions aren't just going to make it that easy. That's why I look at retail sentiment here, because if you look at retail sentiment, you can kind of see where everyone's trading. You can see numbers at 61%. Where was the number one market open? 61%. What does this mean? People aren't entering and exiting trades. They're just waiting, just like we are. Not everyone, but majority of people, right? People who know what they're doing. They're waiting to see the direction of price, because right now people just don't know where price is going. You can see the whipsaws back and forth. It's just hard to determine, what direction price is really attempting to go to. But looking at price here, price breaks above this this price point, then we can probably expect it to continue pushing up higher. However, this would not be an entry using the high-low scalp. And the reason for that is because the following candle right here, this red candle, touched it. So it invalidated this high. So there's no high that's available right now currently. This one was invalidated too. The next one would be over here, which was also invalidated. So we don't have any highs that are available right now. The only high that would be available would be this one right here. And that's a pretty long way to go. So we're just going to ignore that and we'll come back to it at some point. If this becomes a new high, then it's completely fine. We'll just establish this as the new high, but you can see the next candle right here invalidated it, right? And you guys can see, if you guys remembered my markup from earlier, let me just go back if I could even rewind this. So if you guys remembered where I said price was going to reject from, let me see if I could go back. I'm just going to replay it to show you guys that. See that right there? I drew this right here. Remember, I mentioned price was going to come up and reject off the Asia low or reject off the London low. And what happened? Price came to the Asia low right here and it bounced right off it, right? So these are key things to keep in mind, guys. I don't create these indicators for no reason. These indicators are key price points for you guys to look at. I only create indicators if I find that they're very helpful or useful for people here in K2, including myself. And look at that huge drop right there. If someone had a sell limit right there, they would have made a killing off this. Right there, 270 pips, immediate drop. But for me, you guys know how I trade. I'm conservative. Like, even though I do anticipate price to drop like that, I'm not going to take a trade like that. I'm also not going to take it. I'm not going to take a trade like that on the live. Maybe if I'm trading like a risky account and I'm trading by myself, then yeah, I would take the trade. But here in the live session, I'm not going to give you guys risky trades where, you can lose money. My goal here is to make sure that you guys are consistent and that you guys aren't losing money. Obviously you guys are free to take whatever trades you guys want, but you know, the only trade that I'm taking here are going to be trades that I'm like very confident about, like almost 100% confident about. Let's go over here real quick. Let's see, Solange to the 3-minute. Let's see. Yeah, I wouldn't have taken that right there for the sell. I'm looking for the buy because the retail sentiment is like is still short. So I'm looking for buys for the most part. Yeah, I would have gotten triggered right there. And it's crazy because you can see it came up and it came right back down to Longy, right? And that happens a lot. You know, price will sometimes go right to your stop loss and then come right back down. But yeah, I didn't take the daily, and it's not one that I would recommend. My bias right now is still for a buy, and the reason for that is because my main indicator, or not indicator, but like my main confluence right now that I'm looking at is going to be retail sentiment. And the reason for that is because of the volatility that's being caused by the Fed. So when the Fed speaks today, they're going to cause price to spike up and down, right? What do you think people are looking for when they're entering for trades? They're looking for certain things. Like if they see price dropping, because it's bearish right now. Obviously, you can see it's bearish, right? It's clearly bearish on the 3-minute. It's clearly bearish on the 10-minute. It's clearly bearish on the 1 hour. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for the bounce. Like I'm pretty much waiting for price to bounce back up. If you guys remembered yesterday, you guys remembered what we were waiting for yesterday? So looking at this here, and you can see that price pretty much, and I'll clean this up so we can follow this thoroughly. But do you guys remember what we were looking at yesterday? So like from 6 to 8, right? We were waiting for the bounce. And what happened? The bounce came, right? So like looking at the market right here. So I got off at around 8, around this area here. And we were pretty much just waiting for it to bounce, right? Because if you guys remember, this was a live session from like 6 to 8. 6:30 to 8 actually. So 6:30, we saw price come up, and then I got off around this time over here. Right? So if you guys remember, price was coming down and Rick was taking the sells, and Rick was all excited, like, oh, you should not be following, you should just follow the strategy. And I was like, I'm not going to follow it because price is going to bounce back up, right? As soon as I got off the live session right here at 8, what happened? Price bounced all the way up to where we anticipated, right? Because we were waiting for that buy the entire morning. And I wasn't going to fall for this trap here. Like, they're going to give you a few gimmies here, make you think that, price is going to drop. But we already knew price was going to go up because retail sentiment was short, fundamentals are bullish. It just kept dropping to stack up all those sells. Whenever they had enough sellers, what happened right here? Price just shot all the way up. And you can see this smooth move to the upside because what happened was everyone who entered these sells, where were their stop losses, right? Their stop losses were placed at the previous swings. So, for example, here, if you're just watching this or looking at this, people have their stop losses right there. People have their stop losses right there. People place their stop losses in the same place. It's no surprise where people are placing their stop losses because that's what people are usually taught, right? Everyone places their stop loss at the previous swing. That's why I stopped doing that. I used to do it before, but I don't do it anymore because I don't want to have my stop losses set where everyone else's are. So like, for example, here, you can see price was dropping. And then what happened when price started to swing to the upside? What do you think would happen when price reached this area, which we would consider a liquidity zone? When price reaches these areas, what happens? People's stop losses get triggered, right? And when their stop losses get triggered, it just creates a huge volatility to push the upside. Stop loss get triggered, pushed higher. Stop losses got triggered, pushed higher. Stop losses triggered right there, higher. And then it came right back down once it reached the London high from that day. So just trying to show you guys, what's our thought process here and why we're not necessarily entering trades. I'm looking at my MT4 right now, and US 30 did dump like heavily right now. I'm not sure if something else happened in the news, but I'm not going to chase that move, even though it looks really good for a sell. So let me just go back real quick. Huge dump right here, right? This is exactly what I don't want to mess with. Because the thing is, you want to get caught on the wrong side. Even though price dump right here, price can easily just swing all the way back up. So I wouldn't chase this sell here. Let's go back over here real quick, see if I missed anything. So we did miss a high-low scalp right here, but I wouldn't have taken it. So as you can see, we had a low that established right here. This candle broke and closed below it. So you could have taken that for a sell. and that already would have hit full TP right there. So just keep that in mind. Rick said, I like when Sean uses me an example. No, but you did good yesterday, Rick. You were taking risky trades, but you were doing good. It was just, you might have gotten a little overly confident, or you might have just took way too risky trades after the session. But no, like, I mean, Rick's considered like a risky trader in the group, but he does well. Sometimes he hits big, sometimes he doesn't, but for the most part, he understands what he's doing. Rav said, want to see if this is the bounce from London low, might be wrong. Well, it broke right below it, Rev, so it's already broken past the London low. Let me check I don't know what's going on in the market that's causing it to drop like that. Let me refresh this real quick. Looks like something obviously is going on with the Dow. Let me just refresh this real quick. See, this has got to be below 100 points. Yeah, it's below 132 points. Let's see what stocks are really weighing it down aside from Visa. Visa is the main one. Goldman Sachs is also down, and Caterpillar is down as well. So basically Visa, Goldman Sachs, Caterpillar, Amex, Travelers, JP Morgan, basically all of the financials are down right now. Visa, Goldman Sachs, Amex, Travelers, and JP Morgan. Everything else is non, well, I mean, I think there's, let me see what anything else here. I don't really see anything here that's financials, but for the most part, all of the financial stocks are dropping heavily. Visa hasn't really recovered yet. It's still down 12 points. So Visa is down. This is what's really weighing it down heavily. Goldman Sachs is now down, Amex as well, and JP Morgan. If you guys aren't familiar with these other companies, Travelers is like an insurance company. They're down as well. Other than that, I don't really see much, but yeah, this thing is dumping pretty heavy. Let me see if there's another low that's coming up anytime soon. Yeah, I mean, even though it's dropping like this, I'm not going to chase this move. I mean, obviously, you can see that there was a lot of other entries here. Like, for example, I'll just show you the entries that were available, but I wouldn't have taken because it's too risky. So, for example, we had another sell here. See how this candle closed below the pivots? This would have been an entry using the pivot scalp strategy. So, if you're like Rick or like anyone else here who likes to trade risky, then, I mean, you probably would have taken that trade right there. I didn't take it, so I'm not going to count the trade, obviously. But I'm showing you guys like what trades were available. So there's two trades that were available that were risky in my opinion, so I wouldn't have taken them, which would have been this pivot scalp. That's one right there, full TP, no drawdown. Also the high-low scalp right here. So as you can see, there was the low right here. Price broke and closed below it without touching it prior. All the requirements were met. So you could have taken both of these trades. One right there, full TP, and then another one right here for a full TP. And also a snipe full TP from Roger. So Roger also said a full TP off that. And there's also, there's so many trades here that were available, but I wouldn't have taken. So like there's another 10-minute daily right here that you could have taken. This is, we have the valid sell signal right there. So this would have been the daily. It technically would have hit TP2 already, halfway mark. So you would have moved your stop loss in profit. So if you guys are in this position here, if you guys know the strategies and you guys have the indicators, I would recommend that you move your stop loss in profit at this point. Looking over here at the snipe, there's also a snipe here. So thanks for confirming that, Roger. Looking at the snipe, there's a lot of sell entries here. You can see this wick right here, rejected off the pivot, rejected off the structure. We had a sell signal right there. You could have taken this for a snipe and it would have hit full TP already. So I didn't take any of these trades here, guys, but I'm just marking it up to show you guys all the trades that literally just came up right now when everything dropped. So as you can see, the strategies were perfectly fine, even during these crazy market conditions, but I'm not going to chase these moves here at all. So we have an entry here for the daily, which is currently running and in profit. The daily from the 16th hit full TP2. So I'll give you guys the update for that. I think I still have it over here. No, so if you guys remember the daily over here on the 16th, I'll just draw it up for you guys. Not the 16th. It was like on the 11th. Let me check that. Actually, no, it was the 16th. So wait, when did we take that daily over there? Let me check that real quick. All right, the daily was taken on the 15th, actually. Okay, so the 15th over here, 15th at 6:30 a.m. And I'm only going to give you guys an update on this because this is the same trade that was running for, obviously a really long time. So as you guys can see right here, this trade literally ran for like 2 days, right? So I'm only going to give you guys the update for this because this trade is one that a lot of people were holding for like the entire session, or not just a session, but the entire time. And this has been going on for like 2 days. So like, for example, if you were to hold this for that long, it would have gotten close to your stop loss, but it wouldn't have triggered it. It would have hit your full TP eventually. But generally, we do advise that you guys move your stop loss in profit when it gets to that point. So I'm just going to give you guys an update for that. This is from the 15th. And if you guys don't remember it, you guys can see it over here. So if you guys remembered on November 15th right here, this is the trade that we took during the live. This is when it hit TP2. I'm just giving a final update for this position for full TP. K2 daily US 30 entry update from November 17th. Just so that you guys are aware, this isn't from today. I mean, the one from yesterday hit TP2, but this is from today, or from 2 days ago, actually. All right, so if you guys held on to that, big congrats to you guys. You guys have a lot of persistence in holding that trade. I would never have held it for that long. I would have pulled out. So other than that, we'll go back to current position. So this is right there running. This is the one from earlier this night. So I'm just gonna take these off, guys, because we're already done with these positions here. This is a 3-minute here, nothing for the 3-minute. I mean, technically there was an entry here for a sell as well, using a 3-minute scalp. So 3-minute pivot scalp. Again, guys, I didn't take any of these trades, so none of these trades are going to count to the results. Obviously, I only count the results for the trades that I've taken or the ones that I've recommended you guys take during the live. None of these trades I've recommended, so we're not going to count any of them. I'm trying to be 100% transparent with you guys with regard to the results and stuff that are posted. Yeah, I didn't take any of these trades. So none of them are called in the live. I'm not going to call them. I'm just going to show you that this right here was another pivot scalp entry. So 3-minute pivot scalp, sell signal below the pivots. It would take this for a short. Obviously full TP right there. So there you go. Now I'm going to start looking for some trades. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to go over to the fundamentals and I'm going to see what I can find there to see if my bias is now changed from buy to sell. Because if that's happened, that's completely fine, right? If our bias needs to change, that's cool. We can still change our bias. It doesn't need to be stuck on one bias the entire session. If bias changes, then that's fine. You just need to make sure that you make the proper confirmations to make sure that you're not just changing your bias just because price is dropping. You're changing your bias because the data is telling you that bias is changing. So let's go over here and check the retail sentiment real quick. I'll go ahead and refresh this. You guys can see right here that retail sentiment hasn't changed at all, right? This thing is usually updated, around the clock. This thing hasn't updated. So as you guys can see, it's the same people who have been in the market the whole time. People are just pretty much holding. They're not necessarily pulling out. They're not necessarily entering on the opposite side. So majority of traders are short right now. Looking over at the fundamentals, currently the futures data is down 105 points. Looking over at the daily average, currently down 135 points. Looking over here at the stock index for the Dow 30, it's still the same, right? Visa is still down heavily. Goldman Sachs is down heavily. Amex is down. JP Morgan's down. Caterpillar's down. Travelers is down. 3M's down. And there's only a few stocks here that are green. So we don't really see a shift to the upside anytime soon. So at this point, our bias might be changing to a sell. Obviously, our bias changed kind of late because we didn't think about taking the sell earlier. But the only reason we do that is because you want to confirm it 100% before we change our bias. You don't want to just change your bias back and forth. Like, you definitely don't want to be wishy-washy. You want to be one-sided or on the other side. You either want to be here for a buy or here for a sell. You don't want to be for a buy 5 seconds ago, and then 2 seconds go by and price drops and you're automatically shifted to a sell. You want to make sure that you actually look at the confirmations to make sure that price is actually shifted and it's not necessarily going to swing back up, because you can see price is starting to swing back up right here, right? So going back to the fundamentals, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to see if this stays stable. So if this stays below 100 points, then my bias is going to change. I'll check it in the next 5 or so minutes. If this goes below 100 points, then this is just going to indicate that price is going to swing back up and recover, right? That's something that you guys want to make sure. You guys want to make sure that price is stable below 100 points or above 100 points, one or the other. Currently, right now, you can see price is starting to shift its way back up. I think one key thing to look out for here is when price reaches this London low, which is it's about to. See what happens when price reaches this point, because price will do one of two things. It'll either bounce off it or it'll break through it and continue pushing up higher. Right? So pretty much just, we're pretty much just gonna be waiting to see what happens here. Looking back over here at the clean chart, you can see price is back in the same area. Pull this back a little bit. And one thing that you guys want to keep in mind that the Fed is going to be speaking soon. So let's see, Wednesday. First, we have crude oil inventories at 7:30, and then at 8 o'clock, we have Fed member Bowman speaking. So that shift back to the upside might be coming. Rick, you might be pretty heavy in profit because I know you shifted to a buy earlier. Rick said I got out because I doubted myself. Yeah, no, I mean, this is exactly what we're waiting for, right? This is the same thing that happened yesterday. So, just going back to what I marked up yesterday, if you guys remember, same thing, right? So yesterday from 6:30 to 8, you guys can see the same pattern playing out. Price came up, then it came down, and then it came right back up. So, I mean, it's just, it's just a matter of being patient and waiting for this to confirm. So as you can see right here, price came right back below the London low, right? So remember my markup right here? I said price is either going to go up or it's going to go below. So this is what you kind of want to wait for. You want to wait for price to either confirm that it's above it or below it. Price might go sideways for a bit, but eventually it's going to have to choose a direction. So we'll see what happens here. And this is exactly why I'm just waiting, guys. I'm just being patient, because the thing is, like, yeah, of course, I could have made money taking these sells right here, but I also could have lost a lot of money taking these sells here and price didn't go down, right? So my advice to you guys is always be sure. And if you're not 100% sure, then don't take the trade. Just, analyze it like I've been doing. I've been analyzing it. All my analysis has been playing out perfectly, but I haven't been taking any trades because I don't feel comfortable about taking the trades. A lot of people say scared money don't make no money, but the thing is, if you keep making bad trades, you're not going to have any money to trade. So you guys definitely want to be, to some extent, somewhat conservative. You don't want to be taking risky trades always. You want to be, or if you are taking trades, make sure that you're using proper risk. That's the main key. Because the thing is, if you're only risking 1% per trade, you can lose a lot of trades before you blow your account. You have to lose like 100 trades back to back to back. But if you're over leveraging, taking like a 5 to 10% risk, that's like 10 trades and you're out. So something to just always keep in mind. Let's see. Yeah, Eunice said crude oil is restricted. Yeah. So guys, what I've started to realize is that a lot of these news events aren't restricted for US 30. The only time it's really restricted is when there's a holiday. So that's the last time that I ended up losing one of my funded accounts because I traded during a holiday. But a lot of these news events that come up, they don't restrict your trading on FTMO. But if you guys aren't funded, it doesn't really matter anyways, because you guys can't violate that. So if you guys are funded, then obviously you want to be a little careful about it. If you're not funded, obviously it's not going to matter to you because you can still trade during those time periods. So it's just something to keep in mind. Like for me, I'm not going to trade during those time periods, even though it's not restricted, because it's still risky. Even though it's not restricted, it's not risky. I mean, it is risky because that news can still affect the market one way or the other. Yeah, Noel said a 0.1 euro. Yeah, no, exactly. Noel's been using your risk management has been on point, Noel, and he's been killing. So if you guys have been in the group, and you guys probably know Noel because he's been in K2 since its inception, before K2 was even a company. Noel here has been killing it. He's taking small lot sizes, but he's killing it. He's catching these moves every single time. So just goes to show that you don't need to have huge lot sizes, and you don't need to have a huge account. But comparing this to FTMO, 0.01 of Hugo's way is equivalent to a 0.10 on FTMO. So it's just something to keep in mind when you guys are trading. That's why the profit is a little different, right? When you're comparing different brokers, because a lot of people ask me what lot size they should be using. It just depends on your broker, because everyone values it differently. So a couple of profits here that were posted earlier. Let's see. So Ensong over here, he said done for the day. He locked in a total of 6,509 for the day. Nice work, Ensong. So that's perfect, right? If you guys are killing it for the day already, it's okay to take the rest of the day off. See, other than that, let's see if there's anything else here. Angela over here as well, currently up 645 for the day. Nice work, Angela. Angela said, been on vacation, but back in the charts now. This market is whack, but still got to make some profit. No, definitely, Angela. So definitely some great profit, even during, these market conditions today. Looking over here, Maddie. So this is what he made as well. Maddie locked in a total of 531 for the day. So definitely great work. Maddie said baby profits, profits profit. Eunice over here as well. Eunice is currently up 431 and 58 cents. So as you can see, a lot of people in the group, even though I'm not taking trades, they're still listening to my analysis, and they're taking trades off my analysis because they do understand the strategies and they do understand when to take them. So if you guys are new here and you guys want to learn this, obviously you guys can go on the website, k2trades.com. You can click and join the free access, for the free intro course if you guys just want to learn the strategies and whatnot. And if you guys want access to the indicators, just click on K2 Trade Strategies right here. And you'll have access to the K2 indicators where you can take trades just like Eunice here. And as you guys can see, Eunice took all the sells that we pretty much looked over. Even though I didn't call the trades and I didn't take them myself, Eunice took them and he made some nice profits. So great work right there, Eunice. Also looking over here at Brian, you can see Brian said, keeping the K2 consistency, straight wins all month. So here's his equity chart. You can see how consistent he is with his trades here. He's been doing very well, right? Because he understands what we're doing here. It's all about consistency. You can see for this week so far, November 15, 16, 17, pretty much all wins. 2,000 on the 15th, 1,000 on the 16th, and then 4,000 today on the 17th. So, there's no need to be taking any crazy trades, guys. If you could take a couple of trades a day and then lock in some nice profits, you guys are good. So these are the trades that Brian took. All wins, no losses. Currently in profit, 4,519 for the day. So great work, Brian. Keep it up. And if you guys have seen Brian, his equity curve has been insane. It's just been consistent because he's looking for those perfect trades pretty much every single time. So other than that, guys, let me just move the range a little closer. So this is now the range for US 30. And this is perfect. This is exactly what we were looking for. You can see that price hasn't chosen this direction. This is the London low and price is still going sideways. So this is good because as price starts to squeeze tighter and tighter, like you can see price start to squeeze here. What's going to happen next is price will have to break out one direction or the other, just like I mentioned earlier. Price will break out above or it'll break out below. And from that point, we can probably set our buys finally. But I mean, who knows? We'll see what happens in the next few minutes. So looking at this, let's see if this is updated. Still 61% short. Looking at the fundamentals, currently 123, 126 points in the red. Refreshing the index, currently still the same. Visa is down 11 points, Goldman Sachs down 6 points, JP Morgan, Caterpillar, Travelers, American Express, Honeywell, all down in the red. A couple stocks here in the green, but not anywhere near enough to shift it. All right, so other than that, guys, I think that's it for right now. Let's go back over here real quick, see if there's anything else that I'm missing. Nope. All right, so it looks like our bias is starting to shift for a sell, which is completely fine. What we would need to see here, or what I'm personally looking for, I know there's a pending entry there for the pivot scalp. If you guys want to take it, you guys can, but I think this is a bit risky. And the reason why I see it to be risky is because price is in a range, right? I don't want to be trading when price is ranging. So I would not take this for a sell, even if it closes. What I would be waiting for is I'll be looking for price to break and close below here. When price breaks and closes below here, then at this point, I would take the sell. Because at that point, I know price is moving directional and it's moving to the downside. The last thing you want to do is this. If you get a sell signal here and you enter a sell, and then I'm just using this for an example. So for example, if you're entering a sell at this point, like below here, because this is where it was pending before, right? What can happen is price can come down to this low and it can just bounce right off before it hits your TP. So that's why you guys want to be a little careful when entering a trade while price is ranging. You know, ranging is like the worst market to be trading in, especially if it's a tight range like this, because you might get caught in a breakout to, you know, the wrong side. So that is something to look out for. All right, so price broke this this range to the upside, but it hasn't closed above it. So we'll see what happens here, but the fundamentals are still red. So with the fundamentals currently red, it's not necessarily a good decision to take that for a buy just yet. All right, so that high was invalidated. This is now the new high that's pending. Let's leave it up here for now until this one gets established, because we don't want to keep the range too tight when it's not necessarily going to hold. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said range is getting tighter. Definitely. Other than that, let's see if there's anything else right here that I'm looking at. Let's go back to this 1 minute chart. You can see prices still starting to make its way to the upside. Yeah, the next Fed member doesn't speak for a while, so price might come right back down for a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, Bowman and Daly. Well, Bowman speaks at 8. It's light news. Daly and Waller speak at 9:40 as well. Also light news. Evans speaks at 1. So we might see price come back down a little bit before it shoots, you know, up even higher. But I mean, who knows? We just gotta wait and see how price reacts to that news. But you can see that price is still bouncing around this area, right? The London low, same area we were looking at earlier, and the same. I mean, basically the same confirmation that we're waiting for. I mean, we're basically trying to see what's going to happen from this point, because price is rejecting off this London low. And what we're looking for is for price to choose its direction. Usually it's going to bounce off it or break through it. It'll either continue up to the next one, or it'll break below here and just continue dropping from this point too. Basically like what happened here, right? When price came over here and tested the London low, we were looking for one of two things: price to break above, or price to continue back down. And that's exactly what happened. Price rejected off it and came down super heavily. So same situation here. If price ends up rejecting off this point, which it already has, we can probably expect it to drop. I mean, who knows if it's going to drop that heavily, right? It's just going to be a matter of waiting for that confirmation to price to show you where it's going to be going. So like I mentioned before, guys, if this closes for a sell signal, I'm not going to take it, even though it's a pivot scalp strategy entry. I would be waiting for it to close below here in order for it to confirm that's broken out of this range. because you definitely don't want to be trading in a range. And you don't want to be stuck in a trade when it's consolidating, obviously. All right, so pending sell right there. You can see that it's turning on and it's turning off. If it closes right there, I'm going to wait a little longer for it to close below. Talanji said, does it count as a variation? No, it doesn't. Which variation are you referring to, Talanji? Because in order for it to be a variation, price needs to have a double rejection off the high or the low. There's no double rejection off here, no double rejection off here or here. So these wouldn't be considered a variation. This would be considered a variation though, because we have the high established there. You can see that this candle following it rejected off the same high and then it just dropped. So that'd be considered a variation. But for these over here, no variations right now currently. Talanji said rejected of the previous high, but it moved. Yeah, that's not the variation, Talanji. I think you might be confused about the strategy. It needs to reject directly off the second one. So, and here's what we were looking for, guys. So I might be entering the sell right here. If this closes in the next 14 seconds, it needs to close below. And we also need a sell signal. There is no sell signal, so unfortunately, it's not going to be considered an entry for this high low. Man, that sucks. It was looking like a really good entry too, because we were looking for that sell signal to close. Unfortunately, it didn't close. Looking at the requirements right here, you need to confirm you're trading the direction of momentum. So if we get a sell signal here, or this is what I might do. What I might do is trying to get a little early. If this closes right here, this is going to be a pivot scalp entry still. So I technically enter this and I'm going for like the whatever move or whatever, but I'm going to be looking for it to push below here for it to confirm a pivot scalp entry. See if it closes in the next second or so. All right, solid. So I'm already in the position. Let me see if I can get this over here. All right, so the TP was already hit. Looks like I got pulled out of position. Perfect, awesome. All right, so that was quick, guys. You know, it's why you guys gotta be on your feet on this. It already hit TP using the pivot scalp. So I didn't enter that because of the high-low. I entered it because of pivot scalp, right? So if you guys remember my analysis a few seconds ago, I mentioned that I wouldn't enter it when it was in the range because I wanted it to break outside. It broke outside right here, but it didn't qualify as a high-low scalp because there was no sell signal. However, right here, this closed with a sell signal, so it was a pivot scalp entry right here. So, you know, whoever caught it, great work. I caught it too, so I will be posting my profits shortly. Yeah, guys, it's all about knowing what you're doing and, you know, being consistent and being patient. You know, that patience paid off. I was waiting like for forever this whole session for me to take one trade, and it finally came, and I was ready for it. So. Great work to whoever caught it. I'll take a screenshot of my profits. If you guys have profits, you know, go ahead and post them in the group. Otherwise, let's keep going for a couple more. All right, man, what a freaking week, right? This week's been kind of trash because it's been so slow. I mean, it's not really slow, but it's more so going back and forth. So great work right there, guys, to whoever caught it. I'll post my profits right now shortly. And if you guys have profit to send in, just add them to the group and then I'll add them to the list to be posted later today. So looking over here, Rick is up 2,185 for the day. Nice work, Rick. So big congrats to you right there. Also, let's see, we got Maddie over here. Maddie's currently up 1,012. Maddie said, there we go. 1K a day keeps the job away. Definitely right, Maddie. So definitely great work right there, Maddie. Also over here, Sean just posted his profits, locked in a total of 911. Great work, Sean. Looks like he was trading oil, trading US 30, NASDAQ, US 30. Nice work, Sean. Great. Nice. So Sean's $90 away from getting funded on MFF. So, you know, big congrats to you, Sean. Just what I would do recommend is don't get too cocky, right? Just wait for those perfect trades. lock in that last 90 bucks and get your funded status up. It's just a matter of time. So let me take a screenshot of my profits to here. I'm just going to screenshot my profits from this morning. I'm not going to screenshot the stuff from last night because I always get a lot of questions from people, and people want to ask me like a million questions, like, oh, why did you take that trade and stuff like that? And I'm like, took a trade because there was an entry. And I don't want to go and have to explain that. So I'm not going to show you what I took yesterday during Asia session. I was applying the high-low scalp, but I don't want to go and have to explain all that to you guys. So I'm just going to take a screenshot of what was taken this morning, meaning what I took now and what I took during the pre-market that I explained earlier in the session. And, I don't mind explaining stuff like that, but I just find like stuff like that's kind of pointless because people ask about what trades I took when you can just go and look back. Like if you have the indicators and the strategies, you guys can literally just go back and back test it to see what trades I took, because I apply the same exact strategy that you guys take. There's no difference there. So here we go with this. Here are my profits for today. And this is just this morning. I actually took another trade last night, so I'm actually another win on top of that in profit. So here are my trades from this morning. You can see this is at 528. So at 520 at pre-market, I took this, made that win. Again, right now this morning, I took this trade right here at 719, 724. So I took this at 719, locked in a total of 1,545 off that trade. This is my copier, and then this is my main account. So you can see the main account because I have the green lines right here. This means that my TP was hit. I always go to TP, I let the trade run. And then right here, this is my copier. It doesn't have the green lines because it just copies the same exact trade that I took here. So, great profits so far this morning off those K2 scalps on the live session. All right, guys. So great work to everyone here who got these trades. I'm gonna go and just forward these to the rest of the groups. All right, a couple other people here with some profits. We got Orain over here. Nice. So Orain did small wins. Small wins still count, Orain. So right here, he locked in about $100 per trade almost. So 100, 200, about 300, about 400. So nice work right there. About 400 right there, Orain. That's great. That's good profit for you. Profit's profit, right? If I'm making 1,000 or if I'm making $100, it doesn't matter. I'm still winning. And that's how you guys should be seeing it as well. You guys should be more focused on winning. It doesn't matter how much profit you make, but just, be focused on winning. All right, so Brian over here now is currently up 5,046. Nice work, Brian. Making my profits look small. Maddie over here currently up 1,012. Nice work, Maddie. Patrick over here currently up 5,751. Nice work, Patrick. He had a couple losses, but he made them right back. That's all that matters. It's all about consistency. Professor here as well, currently up 1,130. Nice work, Professor. Patrick again right here, his other account currently up 2,571. Nice work, Patrick. And I think that's it for now. If you guys have more profit to send over, go ahead and send them over. Surin over here currently up 304. Nice work, Surin. 304 euros, not dollars. So obviously that's gonna be a little bit higher, but definitely great work. I think with the main thing that like the profits here aren't really what make my eyes open, right? What I see here is consistency. This is what I like to see. I like to see when you guys have consistent wins, no matter if it's a big profit or a small profit. Your consistency here matters, because the thing is, if you keep winning and you don't lose, those profits will just keep stacking up, right? Like just looking at my conversation here with Surin, he basically said he's trying to understand the 7th wonder compounding. That's what he's doing here. He's compounding because he just keeps winning and doesn't lose. So that's key here, guys. Main key here is to be accurate and very consistent with your trades. If you guys can do that, you guys can be just as good as everyone else here in the group, if not better. Like when Brian figured that stuff out, like you guys have seen Brian here. When Brian figured that out, man, it's crazy how many doors it opened for Brian here, right? Because if you look at his consistency here, so this is his consistency for the past 3 days. Where is this post at? Yeah, past 3 days over here, Brian all wins, right? Well, not all wins, but he closed out the days with wins. So pretty much every day was a win for him. He posted all of his trades last week, right? If you look at Brian's trades from last week, they were literally all wins. So if you guys can understand the consistency factor here, your profits just keep adding up. You literally just keep stacking your profits and profits and profits. And see, look, check this out, Brian. So November 4th to November 5th. See the consistency here? Every day he made 3,000, 6,000, 2,000, 2,000, 3,000, 3,000, 1,000. If you add that all up and you're not in the red the entire week, what does that mean? You made all this profit in that week. So, definitely something for you guys to keep in mind. You don't have to take like 100 trades a day. You can take like 4 or 5 trades a day and you'll be fine as long as you're not losing. All right, guys, let's keep going. It's 7:30 right now. So if you guys have questions, drop your questions in the chat. I can answer whatever questions you guys have. I'll stay on for a bit longer because I'm still looking to take some trades myself. But if we don't see anything anytime soon, obviously, we'll be logging off shortly before 8. So other than that, yeah, no, definitely, Stern said that's the goal, definitely. And I can see it happening, Stern, because you've been with K2 for a while and your consistency has gotten better pretty much every day now. Thierry said, time to go to sleep, 11:30 p.m. here. Definitely, Thierry. So we'll see you tomorrow. Other than that, let's see if there's anything else here. Rick said, and that's with doing a few sewage trades in Asia for an $800 loss. It's fire. A whole weekend worth of cocktails for you, right? No, definitely. Okay, yeah. So Paul said, back and forth all day. Still got 2 days left of verification. Nice, nice. Yeah, you should be funded soon too, Paul. Let's see. Orain said, hey, didn't take any, but just to be sure, I saw one main variation on the lower low and the lower high. Yeah, so Orain saw that. I'm trying to see which one did you see over here, Orain, but yeah, you probably saw one that was like a little earlier in the session over here, because I don't think there was anything that happened recently, but definitely you probably spotted it a little earlier as well. Nicholas said, I don't know why it says Nick, but I'm vapid. So let me check your question right now, Nicholas. Let me just see what happened here first. Maddie said it was at 721. 721. I don't think that'd be considered or I mean, if you want to look, because this is probably what you guys were looking at, right? This variation right here. So the variation technically has to happen right after each other. I know Maddie's been using this. This is like an old variation. Like, so the original variation that we were applying before was it can touch at any moment. But what happened here is that when I started to realize that this wasn't very accurate, I stopped using it. I started to see what was really accurate was when it rejected right after it. So if we had a high there and the rejection happened after it, this is the type of variation I would take. Looks like this one here still would have hit, even if that was the case. So if you took this position here, obviously you still would have hit TP, but I consider this to be a bit risky because I've done this before in the past and this would hit stop loss. So it's not one that I necessarily like to apply at all. This right here would technically be a variation too, but I don't think I want to take it because the fundamentals are very strong for bearish right now. They're down 167 points. So I'm not trying to trade against the fundamentals. Even if we get a variation in the opposite area, I'm probably not going to take it. So this would technically be a variation if it closes. I'm not going to take it. We can follow it to see if it hits. But I would consider it very risky. So, I mean, if you were to take the variation here, we'll just mark this up right there. And yeah, it looks like it's about to hit TP. So this would be the variation right there. But I'm not in the position, so I'm not gonna necessarily take it myself. Well, yeah, I'm for sure not gonna take it because it's against the fundamentals. But I'm just showing you guys exactly what it should look like. So this would be the variation at this point. All right, so Vapid, let me see your question here. So you said the last trade was a high-low entry, but you wanted to double a comp. Vapid going. Oh, there you go. Full TP off the variation right there. So, whoever caught it, congrats to you. Just like I mentioned before, guys, the strategies work very well. Like it still works very well, but it's very risky when you're trading against the fundamentals. For me here, like I mentioned on the live session, I'm not going to give you guys risky trades, or I'm not going to tell you guys to take risky trades. If it's risky, I'm going to tell you it's risky, and I'm not even going to take it myself. But if you guys did want to take it like this right here, you could have taken it. This is something Maddie would take. I know Maddie's been killing it. That's why he's gotten funded. So if you guys have seen Maddie, he got funded on MFF last week, and then he got funded on FTMO this week. So guys, there's a lot of opportunity out there. And the only way that you guys can take the opportunity is by action, right? You guys can't be complaining about stuff. Like I see a lot of people complain about how the strategy's not working for them, or they're just taking bad trades and they're just not doing well. And there's like there's only like one or two people like that in the group, which I'm not going to call you out, but you know, um, if that's your position where you just want to find someone or something to blame for like you not being successful while everyone else in the group is successful, you know, you got to be real with yourself and you got to figure out what your problem is so you can fix it. If you're just looking to blame someone or something for you not doing well with trading, you're never going to get any better, right? Because you're just going to keep looking for someone or something to blame. If you leave K2, you join another trading group. What are you going to do there? You lose trading there, and then you just blame those people as well. The only way you'll get better is if you actually understand where your mistakes are coming from. Because the thing is, if everyone here is doing well and you're not doing well, you must be doing something wrong. So if you're doing something wrong, go back and figure out what you're doing wrong so that you can fix that. Because obviously what we're doing here works and works perfectly fine. Scotty here is in profit, a total of 535 for the day. Nice work, Scotty. And other than that, let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. I didn't take this trade, so we're not going to count it, but I just wanted to show you guys that it still works, even though it's a risky trade. All right, let me scroll over here real quick. Nicholas's question, or Vapid, sorry. Your question was the last, so the last trade was not a high-low entry. Let me go back over there real quick. I'll just replay it. So this right here was not a high-low entry at Vapid, and the reason for that was because, okay, so this right here was the low, right? So it established as a low. Looking at the requirements right here, looking at requirement number one, you want to confirm the previous swing low. The next requirement, you want to confirm a price break and close past the previous swing. So you want to make sure that price breaks and closes past this line, right? So looking at this right here, price broke and closed past it. So requirement one and requirement two have been met. Requirement three, you want to confirm you're trading the direction of momentum using the K2 momentum indicator. Right here, we didn't have a sell signal, right? So we're not trading the direction of momentum. That's why it wouldn't be a high-low entry. The next candle right here was a sell signal, right? So that trade that people won was using the pivot scalp, not the high-low, because the high-low it didn't qualify. So looking at this here, first requirement, confirm a valid sell signal. Right here's a sell signal. Confirm prices below the pivots 3 and 4 for a sell. It's below the pivots. You would enter right there, and then you'd let it run for 100 pips, right? So this is what we took. There you go, full TP. And that's the strategy that we applied for this last entry. I know it's a little confusing for the high-low, but unfortunately, we didn't have that sell signal that closed, and that's the reason why we didn't take it for that specific entry there. But yeah, hopefully that clears it up for you. All right, let me scroll down a little bit. Yeah, no, definitely. Solange said, definitely looks like variation happens quite often, so I'm trying to learn it. Yeah, exactly, Solange. I know it's going to be a bit risky for you to take it. You need to really be on your charts and focus on it at all times. So what I do recommend is if you want to apply the variation, I would recommend using a smaller lot size, or even just play around with the demo. Just take all the variations and then see how you play out. If you're very profitable, then you can start using it on your live account. You just want to make sure that you completely understand it and that it's actually hitting for you before you start to apply it, you know, consistently. All right, let's see. So Dion said it works. However, you have to be very careful because the low can be established and it reverses. No, exactly, Dion. And that's why it's not one of the strategies that I teach people, because this this high and these lows, they're not established yet until X amount of candles pass, right? There has to be 4 or 5 candles. So for example, if the rejection happens right after it, or yeah, like Dion said, if it reverses, say for example, if this right here reverses and goes below, then it's not going to establish the low, right? So then you're not really trading off the low. So you kind of have to understand that situations like that will arise. And that's why testing is required. And that's why it's not an official strategy or one that I plan on teaching anybody. It's just too risky. Other than that, let's see. Rick said, I took the candle before. Yeah, no, exactly. Same here to lunch. I actually took it earlier too, because of the because I knew it was going to come, obviously. because we had that pending sell signal. It just needs to close so that it can drop. So sometimes it's, it's based off intuition. Rick said I gambled off the wick and just had a super close stop loss. Yeah, no, that happens sometimes, Rick. Sometimes you got to be really careful. And that's like one thing that you guys can do as well. Like, for example, if you guys want to take this variation, what I do recommend is have a tight stop loss, not super tight, but have it, somewhat tight. Like, for example, you're not going to use the normal 100 to 300 because since it's such a risky trade, you want to be sure that it's going to go in that direction. Like, for example, here, there's no drawdown, right? So if there's no drawdown, you should have your stop loss like really tight, like probably for a 1-to-1 or maybe a little more than that, 1 to 1.5, something like this. Exactly. So Rick does 10 pips below it. So he does a really tight stop loss. This is something that you can do during New York session. I wouldn't do this during Asia session because the spread's too wide. But during New York session, you can do that. You have this tight stop loss, and then it easily bounces off it. So Razzle's asking if I can go over the variation. Basically, variation is if you have a low that's right there, and then the one following it, it rejects off the same exact low. So for example, we have a low here, and the next following candle has a wick rejection off the same exact price. So what you're looking for are basically tweezers. Have you guys heard of tweezers before? Basically, are two like wicks, right? Two wicks right after each other. The first wick right here is a low. The second wick right here is a rejection. So you have a low, you have a rejection, and you take that for a long right there. Same situation with this over here, right? You have a high right there, you have a rejection right after it, then you take that for a short. This doesn't require much, it's just a quick little move. So you're basically looking for a quick little rejection and then getting in and out really quickly. So, this is something that I'll probably go over during the live sessions with you guys, but it's not something that I'm going to go over during like a mentoring session because I don't want you guys to be stuck on this strategy. I know this strategy is very lucrative and you guys can make a lot of profit doing it, but it's really easy to get greedy and to start taking shortcuts. Like, basically like what we were discussing earlier, right? Like, for example, over here, we wouldn't take this rejection over here because it's so far off. But, if you're trying to take a shortcut, or like this is what happens. I see this happen a lot. Like, for example, right here, we have this, or no, this would apply. So this is a shortcut because this isn't part of the strategy. You need the rejection right after the candle. So for example, price establishes a low here. Then over here, it rejects off it, right? If you're taking a shortcut, you're like, okay, it's probably just rejecting late. You would take it there. And what would happen is you'd still win, but you're not following a strategy, right? The strategy is different. So that's like one reason why I wouldn't want to teach you guys, because obviously you can see a lot of people are making a ton of profit using this strategy, but it can go south really quickly. If you start to get greedy, you start to revenge trade, you start to take more shortcuts. There's just reasons for me not to teach you guys that strategy. Or what I was telling Maddie, so I was talking with Maddie about that. He was saying that we should probably have like an advanced group, people who are already good at trading or that are good at following directions and K2 strategies. We can probably have an advanced group where I can teach, because I do have a lot of risky strategies. I have risky strategies that I apply on my own time when I'm not on the live, where I make a ton of profit, like when I'm not on the sessions with you guys, because they're riskier. And you need a lot of focus to apply those. So maybe at some point we'll create like an advanced group where I can just go over those strategies with you guys. Because I have a lot of strategies on my sleeve, guys. Like I've been trading for so long now that I have a lot of variations to the strategies that we already apply. There's a lot of things that we can look at, obviously. Yes, Solange said K2 is so goated. Good thing Sean is super careful. Yeah, because the thing with these indicators, guys, is that I created these indicators to cover pretty much all aspects of technical analysis. So you can use all of these indicators for different things. And there's a ton of different ways to trade. Like, for example, I could show you guys a quick one that I used to apply a lot of the times. Like, for example, if I see a big trend like this, where price is coming down, I would just trade off these rejections off the pivot. So say, for example, I have a sell signal, price comes down, rejects off the pivot, I would take a sell. Quick win right there, right? Price comes back up, comes back down, rejection off the pivot. I would just like literally take like rejections. I would go for super quick scalps and I would make like 1 win, 2 win, 3 win, 4 win, 5 win when it rejects off the pivots. It just really quick moves. But it's not something that I would teach you guys because I already know that if I taught you guys that, you'd have like a ton of people taking, or actually we would use all the pivots. And then you can see how many entries that we could possibly have here, right? Like if you find a big trend, like price is trending like this and price just comes back and retraces. So price breaks above, rejects off this point. You got a buy signal right there. I would take that for a buy, make a quick profit, right? Price comes back around, swings back up, again right there. Rejection off the pivot, buy signal, take that for another quick scalp, right? For 100 pips. So as you guys can see, there's a lot of different ways to apply these strategies. It's just stuff that I don't necessarily teach you guys because, you know, we do have a lot of beginners here in K2 and I don't want to teach you guys the advanced stuff before you guys get down to basics because a lot of people still have problems with the basics. And you know, you got to build a foundation. Once you guys build a foundation with the basics, you guys can move on to more advanced things. But I got a lot of strategies. I got a ton of strategies that I apply and that I've been, you know, applying over the years. It's just stuff that I don't necessarily teach. Yeah, exactly. So Rain said teach with disclaimers. Yeah. So I still wouldn't want to teach any of the new traders or people who haven't even gotten the basics down. Like if you guys have the basics down, like basically all these strategies here, you have the pivot scalp down, you have the high-low scalp down, you have, the pivot scalp is the same thing. It's just on different time frames. If you guys have the basic stuff down, like the snipe strategy, this is like one that's like really easy, but I see a lot of people have issues with it. I mean, it's just a checklist, right? You're looking for a rejection off a pivot, rejection off a structure. You want to make sure that the wick isn't touching the body. The pivot's not touching the body. Like everything here is just a checklist. If you have issues with this, you're not ready for the advanced stuff because the advanced stuff moves way too fast. But yeah, eventually we'll do something like that. You know, I'm here to stay for a long time with trading. You know, trading is like what I enjoy to do, and I enjoy teaching you guys these strategies because you know what's more of a better feeling to see that everyone's killing it using the stuff that I'm using, right? It just justifies that like what I use actually works because you see all these other people killing it. So that's pretty much what I share it for, guys, because it's just it helps me help you guys. So it helps me make my strategies better, and it helps you guys be profitable, right? So you guys are basically using my strategies when you guys run into issues. You guys tell me the issues, and then I make the strategy better. So you know, it's a win-win for all of us. I win because my strategies get better every day. You guys win because you guys are profitable as well. So it's a win-win. It goes both ways. Otherwise, let me see if there's anything else here. Dion said I use it for Aussie 200 during city market, and it works, but still needs to pay attention to not to go for huge moves. No, exactly, Dion, 100%. If you trade during Asia session, you guys have to go for like tight moves. Like for example, right here, we're going for 100 pips TP. Generally during Asia session, I only take it for 50 pips. And that's because the market moves a lot slower during Asia session. So yeah, guys, it's 7:45 right now. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to drop your questions in the chat. Otherwise, looks like we'll be wrapping up this session very soon. I don't see any entries here. There's nothing off this high, nothing off this low. Actually, this low was a variation entry. There was actually another variation entry right here. I missed it. Unfortunately, it's okay though. But if you took the variation right there, it looks like it would have hit your TP already. Yeah. Maddie probably took this. He's probably like in the zone right now. I already knew it. See, you guys look at the Zoom. Look at Maddie right there. He said caught it. I knew you caught it, bro. Man, this dude, Maddie's killing it. Nice work, Maddie. Yeah, see, so Rick said, damn, I'm intuitively taking these variations. Exactly, Rick. So once you get in the rhythm of catching these variations, you don't even really think about it. You literally see the double rejection off the bottom, and then you're like, all right, cool, I'll take it. And then, yeah, exactly. Like Maddie said, you got to be really locked in though. So guys, look, if Rick's killing it, not to down talk Rick's trading ability, but if Rick's killing it doing this, it's possible. Very possible. Yeah, so Rick over here said he made a quick 345. Nice work, Rick. Yeah, no, so you guys are good. The only way to get good at these strategies, guys, is by practicing, right? You have to keep applying it every single day. And I don't mean practicing it by back testing. I mean practicing it by by forward testing it. Like if you guys have seen here, all of these strategies, like this strategy that I created for you guys, I only forward test this. I never went and back tested it. What happened was I saw that something worked. We forward tested on the live session every single day. It's still unfinished, but I mean, it pretty much works perfectly fine. The more and more you guys practice, and the more and more you guys practice during real market conditions, not back testing. I don't like back testing because what happens when you guys back test is you guys look for certain things, right? You guys will be looking for wins every time and you'll avoid all the losses. If you're forward testing it, it forces you to think about the trade before you take it, because if you make a mistake, then you're screwed, right? But you can't go back and say, oh, I wouldn't have taken that because you already took it and you already lost. But forward testing it will help with your trade psychology and your advantage in thinking on your feet. Talani said, Rick, your confidence is inspirational. Yeah, no, exactly. It is. No, it really is, though. Other than that, let me check the fundamentals real quick. I'll just see what the bias is looking like. Bias is currently still a sell. We're currently down 138 points. It's staying below there, so it looks pretty solid for a sell right now. Looking at Visa, Visa is still down 111 points. Goldman Sachs is down 7 points, so it's dropping harder. Amex is down 2 points. Travelers is down 2 points. Capital is down 2 points. JP Morgan is down 1 point. So as you guys can see right here, it's still pretty red. Looking over here at retail sentiment, 59% short, which is perfectly fine, because if the retail sentiment is starting to shift to the long side, then we'll start looking for sort of some shorts, right? Bias changes as it continues to go along. But yeah, other than that, let me see. So let's see. Yeah, Josh said there was a variation created at 740. It looks invalid because of the indicator now, but 2 candles just before that was the original call out. So let's see, 740. Oh gosh, okay. So the high, yeah, because the high right here broke right before, right? So that's what happens sometimes, Josh. And yeah, Maddie said that he took it as well. So Maddie said, yeah, I took that for a sell, but then there was a new high created. So yeah, like I was mentioning right here, and that's perfect, Josh. So Josh saw right there too perfectly. So he saw the variation right there, and that happens sometimes. Sometimes a variation will push a little higher. So like for example, if you entered right here, and this is why it's kind of hard to have a tight stop loss, because if you have a tight stop loss, you might get kicked out of this trade before it has it makes its move, right? So let's see, if you took that trade right there, and you can see that the high got pushed a little higher, but Josh identified that just as Maddie did as well. Full TP, right? So definitely some great work right here, guys. I'm glad to see that you guys are picking this up. I didn't think you guys would be able to catch it, or not really. I knew that you guys would be able to, because you guys would be able to follow along, a majority of you guys. But I wasn't sure if you guys would be able to pick it up that quickly, because I know it is a little confusing, but if you guys follow it, you know, you guys can easily take this. And if you guys are brand new here, or if you guys don't have the K2 indicators, basically majority of people here do have the indicators, and that's why a lot of people are able to apply this on their own. If you guys want the indicators, just go on the website, k2trades.com, click on K2 strategies, and then you'll have access to these indicators. Because if you guys have the indicators, you guys can make a ton of profit, right? So Sean over here said a quick profit, and he just passes MFF to be funded tomorrow. So big congrats to Sean over here, you know. Big congrats to our K2 members here. Sean just passes MFF. He's now going to be funded tomorrow. Looks like he just took a quick trade. Yeah, he took the quick buy right there, actually. Looks like Sean might have taken the variation. There's another variation right here, actually. And it looks like he locked in his small profit he needed to get funded. So definitely great work right there, Sean. I'm glad to see you guys getting funded here through FTMO or MFF, you know, whatever platform you guys want to use. You know, I'm glad to see that you guys are getting funded and you guys are doing very well, because that's key here. Key here is just that you guys are successful traders. And yeah, I mean, I think that's about it. Let me see if there's anything else right here. Nice. Maddie said he caught the sell at 748. I think this one was it was close, but it wasn't the rejection didn't really happen right there, Maddie. I probably would have, I mean, it looks like it did, but it didn't. This right here didn't fit the criteria because the candle falling right here broke past it. Yeah, exactly. Talanji said, LOL, so many different strategies, but all valid. Yeah, so it looks like a lot of you guys here are killing it. So Rick, this is where it becomes a little tricky, right? So I know I was looking for that variation right there too, but the variation didn't actually reject off it, right? So you can see this, the following candle right there actually broke below it. So it wouldn't have been a valid variation. But yeah, good thing you didn't take that because you would have been screwed. That's why you guys gotta wait for the very last seconds to take the variations, or else you're gonna get screwed almost every time. Yeah, no, exactly. It broke it. Um, oh, I just missed it. So like, for example, right here, guys, this would be a high-low entry. I totally missed it. So looking at this right here, you can see that all these cells right here, or these lows have been invalidated. This low right here was never invalidated. So looking at the requirements here, confirm the previous swing low. All these lows here have been invalidated. This would be the most recent swing low that hasn't been validated yet. You want to confirm price break and close past it, which it did right here. You want to confirm you're trading in the direction of momentum. We have a sell signal right there. And you want to make sure that price is not ranging. Price was ranging here, but price finally broke below. And that would confirm the break in the range. Last, you want to confirm that price hasn't touched the previous swing before breaking close. So it's never been touched right here. So with that said, this would be a valid sell entry using the high-low scalp. And it looks like it already hit TP right there. So as you guys can see, I mean, it doesn't matter what type of trading style you guys have. We have a ton of strategies here at K2. So if you guys are new here, or if you guys are old members and you guys want to get into scalping, I think scalping is really where it's at, guys. When the volatility is high, scalping is perfect. When the volatility is low, scalping is perfect. So you can scalp whether the market's fast or the market's slow. And that's why I gravitate towards scalping. Because for one, I don't want to be on the computer for hours on end. You see people on the computer for like 4, 6, 8 hours a day, and you're like, damn, that sucks, right? It's like having a job. For me, I trade with you guys from 6:30 to 8. I trade with you guys for like an hour, and then I go and do whatever I want after. Like I'll go walk my dog, I'll go to the gym, I'll go eat lunch. I'll do anything I want after I'm done trading. And if you guys want that type of lifestyle, I know it seems unbelievable, but I've been doing it for like 3 years now. And you guys have seen me during these live sessions. I come on live with you guys, come back the next day, same thing every single day. So if you guys want to live that lifestyle, it's very doable. And there's actually a lot of people in the group who are doing it every single day. So yeah, no, exactly. Rick said he used to trade till 10:30. I used to trade until like noon, guys. I used to trade all the time. Usually what I'll do is, so this is how I mark it up, guys. I trade from 6:30 to 8. I'll usually go walk my dog and then go to the gym, and then I'll come back around 10. And then from there, I'll probably trade like 1 or 2 trades until market close. But I'm not on the charts all day. I'm like literally on the charts for this period. I'll come check right before lunch. I'm like, okay, cool. Take 1 more trade, and then that's it for the day. And that's really how it is, guys. You guys don't have to make it. You guys don't have to overcomplicate trading. Trading is super simple. If you actually have the proper tools and you guys have the proper knowledge to apply these types of strategies. Yeah, no, definitely. Gallo said, fact, I traveled more this year than I have my whole life so far. Nice work, Gallo. No, so that's my goal too. My goal for next year is definitely to travel more. So what happened was I bought a new MacBook, basically the new iMax MacBook, or whatever it's called, the One Max MacBook. And I bought another screen. I was going to show you guys, but it's okay. It's too far. I bought another screen. So when I travel, I'll just have my laptop and my screen, and then I can travel and still trade with you guys every morning. So that's pretty much what my goal is for next year. No, definitely. Rick said that's my goal, to get funded and travel. Yeah, no, definitely. It's definitely possible, Rick. You just gotta tone it back on these risky trades, because you don't want to lose your funded account once you're funded. You just got to get funded and then be consistent. So definitely. All right, I think that's it for the questions here, guys. If there's anything else here, let's see. Patrick said, yeah, I'm sure most of us got into trading not to work not to have to work so many hours. No, exactly. Like, prior to this, I was an attorney, so I was working like 12-hour days. Going from 12-hour days to 1-hour days and then getting paid more, like it's a no-brainer, right? So a lot of people always ask me like, why would I leave law? And it's like, why wouldn't I leave law? It Yeah, and Rick said, trading is hardly working. It really is, because literally all I do, guys, is I hang out with you guys in the morning, right? We just hang out. This is a hangout from 6:30 to 8. The profit on top of that is a plus, right? We're literally just hanging out, talking. I'm giving you guys analysis and stuff that I would do on my own. So we hang out for an hour, make our profit, and then do whatever you guys want after. That's the, the life that we pretty much do for the most part. So let's see some more profits here. Dell, so Scotty over here actually just sent his profits, locked in a total of, actually there's a couple of profits here that were just posted. So Professor locked in a total of 2,130. Nice work, Professor. Scotty over here locked in a total of 851. Nice work, Scotty. Dell over here sent his profits in, locked in a total of 484. So as you guys can see, you guys can make profits whether you guys have a big account or whether you guys have a small account. It doesn't matter. It's very possible. Jay over here as well. Jay locked in a total of 1,493. Nice work, Jay. Said he's done for now. Eunice over here just sent his profits, locked in a total of 512. Great work, Eunice. And he's done for the day as well. So if you guys have more profits to send over, go ahead and send them over. I'll add them to the list. Otherwise, let's see if there's anything else here. Peter said, since joining K2, I hate weekends and I can't wait till Mondays. Yeah, I know exactly. Same here too, right, Peter? And it's more so just hanging out, guys. Like really, I think the thing that really makes K2 like the community that we are is that we're all like on the same level, right? Even though people are making more profit than others, like we don't ever look down on each other. We're always like helping each other out, and we're all just hanging out. Like we're literally just like a group of friends just hanging out, trading, making money, trading. And that's pretty much what we do every single day. That's why it doesn't really seem like work. We're kind of just hanging out and trading. Candidacy K2 equals kind of kicking trading, right? No, exactly. It's super easy, especially with these strategies that I provided for you guys, because it's literally just a checklist. Jennifer said, except me, I'm the best here, right, Jennifer? Yeah, no, you got to get that. I think you have like an SVJ on your picture, huh? I want an SVJ eventually. I'm actually looking at cars right now. I don't know if I showed you guys. I'm like, I might be getting an R8 this month or next month. I already got pre-approved for the car, so I'm gonna go test drive it later this week. Yeah, let me see if I have a picture of it. Yeah, no, because I want to get an SVJ. I want to get a McLaren for sure. I'm gonna get a 720 at some point, but right now, just because I want to buy a house, so I'm doing my budget at this moment. I think I'm just gonna be getting an R8 temporarily, just because it's gonna be my fun car. And then because I do have my Tesla Model X, which is my daily driver, but I kind of just want a car, like a normal car, not a normal car, but a car to have fun with. So here, let's see. Yeah, so basically this is the one that I'm gonna go test drive. It's not bad. I mean, it's a cool like little car to play around with. Hopefully maybe I'll get it on Friday, but this is gonna be like a temporary car. I'll have it for like maybe 3 to 6 months, and then I'm just gonna resell it and then maybe move on to my next car. Or I'm gonna get a house next year, so I might have to sell it and get another car, or sell it and then just chill on it. Let me see what else I'm missing here. Yeah, no, it's a V10, Peter. It's definitely a V10. It's a 2018, so I think they all come into V10s at that point. I think they stopped making the V8s after, so it's not brand new, but it's it's just gonna be a fun car for now. Rick said, yeah, you need a car that goes 200 miles per hour, Orange County traffic, right? Jennifer said, what car will make everyone look at you? No, exactly, SVJ for sure, and a 720. Those are two of the cars that I definitely want to get long term. Kenneth's asking what color am I wrapping it? I don't know yet, because I don't know how long I'm gonna keep the car for. If I have it for short term, then I'll probably just leave it white, and then I'm gonna resell it. Or I might wrap it the same color as my Tesla. I don't know if you guys have seen it before. Most of you guys have seen it before, but I might wrap it a chrome blue. There's a couple other cars here that are like the same. I know someone else that has the same color. So this is what my Tesla looks like. It's in chrome blue. I might just get the R8 that same color too. I think it would look good because my Tesla is actually white under, and I wrapped it the chrome blue as well. But we'll see. Surin said, no, so it's not a plus. The thing is I can tune it to a plus. So it's not going to be a plus stock, but I can get it tuned to like stage 1 or stage 2. There's a couple of shops around my area that are like really specialized with R8s, and I can just tune it to basically the plus, the plus settings. So there's a lot of ways to do that. But no, I was looking at a plus, but it's like an extra 30, 40K, and I don't really need that. I could just tune it for like 10K and then have it at the same speed and a sound. Nice. Lon, you said you want to Model X. No, definitely. It's very possible. So the funny story with my Model X, guys, if you guys remembered when I got the Model X, I couldn't afford that car when I bought it. So what happened was I got funded on FTMO like 2 years ago in June. I bought the Tesla in July because I was so excited. I was like, oh, I got funded. I'm going to make so much profit. But I didn't have the money to pay for the car yet. I literally had enough for the down payment. And then finally, I just kept killing it on FTMO, right? I just got really good on FTMO, and then I just made it happen, right? I knew I couldn't afford the car at the time, but I made it happen. There was like no, I made sure that there's no way I could fail at this. So yeah, no, definitely. That's because I know you've been here for a while, Talanji. So you saw when I was actually looking at the Tesla. And it was funny because what happened was I was on the Tesla website every day, and I didn't. So what happened is you guys have probably been on the Tesla website, right? Like what I would do is I would go on the Tesla website. I was going on the website like literally every day, and I was just building the car. I'm sure you guys have done that before. You go on the Tesla website and you're like, oh, Model X, and then you just build it. Like you're playing around with it, right? You just want to build it, and then I just kept building it every day. So I kept doing, I was building it, and then I would just play around with it. I would add the stuff that I wanted to it. And then I was like, oh, this is cool. And then I accidentally continued to payment. So I actually basically agreed to buy the car. So when that happened, I kind of freaked out because I was like, shit, I don't have the money to pay for this car yet. And then that's when I just got really good at FTMO. I ended up getting 2 FTMOs. At the time, it was only 50K. That was like the max account size. And then I just killed it. I just kept killing it with FTMO. And then from that point on, I was like, well, I can afford the car now. But it's really about just manifesting what your goals are. Like literally, if your goal is to get a certain car, you just got to make it happen. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else. Kenneth said I'm doing it right now. No, exactly, Kenneth. I did the same thing. I did almost every single day. See, John said Orange County is sports car unfriendly. I have a Porsche Cayman, and I can't drive fast anywhere around here. I actually drive slower because I have to keep away from all the trucks and rocks they throw. No, exactly. I agree with you too, John. It's it does suck. I mean, especially in like certain areas. I think Irvine is okay. I like Irvine because that's where I live, right? I live in this area where there's a lot of bigger open roads. But if you go to like Huntington Beach and stuff like that, it's horrible. I've gotten cars like that have hit my window and hit the front of my car. So I have it wrapped so I can just take the wrap off, but it protects the paint. But no, I agree. It does kind of suck. Other than that, let's see. Rick said we bought a Tesla Y in March, 50K. It's now worth almost, yeah, no, exactly. Price has gone up. And that's the reason why I'm looking to get the R8 as well, Rick, because like right now, I'm probably going to get it for like 150K. I can probably resell it in a couple months for like 160 or 170. So I'll make a profit off the car while I get to drive around. Let's see, other than that, Jennifer said I did a climbing a ladder manifesting challenge. Then I test drove a Tesla, and ladder fell into the middle of the road while I was driving. Damn, that's crazy. That's when I stopped doing that. No, that's crazy. That's super crazy, Jennifer. Damn, that's horrible. Rick said, Sean, do you have full self-drive? So I do have full self-drive, but because of my wrap, so I mean, you guys have seen my wrap. Let me see if I can pull it back up. Yeah, because of my wrap, it blocks the sensors. So I can only use full self-drive when it's like angled in a certain direction where the sun's not beaming on my car, because it just is too reflective. Like literally the sensors can't detect how far the car is like in front of you. So it'll come on sometimes like at nighttime it'll come on, but during the day it doesn't work as well because the wrap is too thick and it's too reflective. So certain cameras don't work very well for the self-drive. So if you want to use self-drive, my advice is don't get your car wrapped in chrome because it's gonna mess up your cameras. When I take it off, I can use it, but I can't use it right now. I've used it before though. Like if you guys remembered, I went to Arizona last year. That was before my car was wrapped in the chrome. I did full self-drive all the way from Orange County to Arizona in Phoenix. So it was pretty nice. I mean, I was literally going like 80 miles an hour, and then it was just full self-driving all the way there. Yeah, no, clear bra is good, right? If you just want to protect it, it's a good idea to get that done. That's probably what I get next week if I end up picking up that RA. All right, guys. So I think that's it. It's way past my live session. You know, it's great talking to you guys after the live. You know, just to make you guys, just to show you guys that I'm a normal person, just like you guys, right? There's nothing different between me and you. I'm not like some like robot trader that a lot of you guys think I am. Literally, I'm a normal person, just like you guys. I just have trading down, and you guys can, you know, live whatever lifestyle you guys want. It's just literally getting the stuff down, mastering it, and repeating the process. If you guys see my live session every day, I do the same thing every single day, and it works. So it doesn't matter what strategy you guys want to apply. What's key is that you guys are consistent. If you guys find a strategy that works really good, it's all about being consistent, right? If you guys watch all my live sessions from now to a year ago to a year before that, I'm doing the same exact thing every single day, and it's been working every single day. So I think that's it for now, guys. So if you guys do have questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will catch you guys here back tomorrow for the next live session. If you guys do decide to trade, also just keep in mind that the Fed's speaking pretty much all day today. So you guys want to be careful, but if you guys want to trade, just remember to move your stop loss and profit and to use proper lot sizing. So other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow morning. So see you.